Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new day of Road to TCG Worlds 2017. Now before I start with the video, we finally got news of everything, literally the whole season. We now know how it works, we now know prices, we know about the internationals, we know that London is the first one, or the European International is the first tournament of that size, and it kind of feels like it's a Worlds tournament finally in Europe, I guess. And yeah, I mean, if that's gonna be the feeling for the Latin American and the Asian Pacific one, I don't know, I'm really looking forward to to this season rather. It's already started. I am recording this on Friday. I do get to play my first league challenge tomorrow, so hopefully I do well, hopefully I did well. I do plan on playing Volcanion so far, but yeah, we'll see. Now this week we do have Arizona Regionals coming up. It is the first tournament of the new season, the first big tournament of the season, and it is an expanded format, so I figured exploring a couple of popular, or rather underrated maybe, decks from the expanded format would be worthwhile. I actually posted on Virbank what decks you guys wanted to see, and Rainbow Road and Speed Darkrai got the most votes, so that's what I'll be featuring this week. And yeah, regarding London, I will be attending the European National, so I hope to see a lot of you over there. Because of my 5th place in Latin America, I do get the stipend to help me pay for the expenses, so that's really cool. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'll definitely be preparing a lot for that tournament. But anyways, let's start off with today's deck. It is a Rainbow Road. We did suffer quite a bit with Rainbow Road last week in the standard format, and as you can see, we are not featuring any of the dual type Pokemon, so we'll see how that works. I mean, you do have a lot of different options in expanded rather. You do have Ho-Oh support in terms of energy, you have the Battle Compressor support, you have Computer Search for extra consistency. So there's a ton of things you can do here. Now I would love to play Ninja Boy here. I would definitely love to play Ninja Boy, but because it doesn't work yet in PTCGO, it might be working now by the time you are seeing this video, but by the time I am recording it, it is not working yet, so that's why it's not in the list. But yeah, this is the overall list. We do have our four Rainbow Force Xerneas. Sorry, I apparently cannot speak English today. We have our 4 Rainbow Force Xerneas. We have our 3 Ho-Oh-EX, which is one of the main components in the deck. Rebirth allows you to get more energy into play, and with 4 energy switch, you can power up Yveltal, you can power up Jolteon, you can power up Xerneas itself, you can power up Cobalion as well. I feel like energy switch is a really good card. And then you have the standard Hoopa in order to find all the EXs. You have the standard Keldeo to remove special conditions with our float stones, and our 2 beautiful Shaymin-EX. Now in terms of supporters, we have a very thin supporter line, but that's because we have a lot more things that can actually help us in terms of the Battle Compressors, the Computer Search, things like that. So hopefully that won't be an issue. We only have 3 Sycamore, 2 N, and a single Lysander. We do have our 4 Berserker, 4 Ultra Ball, only 2 Trainer's Mail. I could go down to 3 Energy Switch for a 3rd Trainer's Mail or a 4th Sycamore, but I'm gonna leave it as it is. We do have 2 Fighting Fury Belt to give Xerneas or our other Pokemon more HP, and we do have 2 Float Stone. Now, opposing Jolteon-EXs could definitely be an issue. Now that I'm looking at the list, we have no way around that other than our own Jolteon, where we would reach a stalemate. We only have 2 Skyfield as well, so we have to make sure we target the right Pokemon, we have to make sure we play them at the right time. And we have a variety of energy, 4 Fairy and 4 DCE, but 2 Darkness, 2 Metal, and 1 Lightning, so that we can use the other type Pokemon, and so that Ho-Oh actually gets its maximum usage and gets back 3 energy every time. So that's pretty much the deck. This card is huge for consistency purposes. Computer Search, it's really good. And yeah, let's see how we fare in the expanded format. Now, I haven't played for the expanded format, or I haven't made videos for the expanded format since spring regionals, so that was back in March, I believe. March, April, probably March. So it has been a while. No tournament in Mexico has ever been an expanded since the expanded format was introduced, so that's why I heavily favor standard. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what is new here. Now, looking at my opponent's previous screen, we might actually be up against either a Trevenant with some sort of Deten tech against Yveltal, or simply Night March. We might actually be up against Night March, our good old friend Night March. So we'll see how this goes. My opponent Peter Parker's is, or should, call the flip, which we do lose, but that opens up the possibility of attacking on turn 1. So it's actually not terrible to go second, or if my opponent chooses to go second, we could definitely abuse that. Well, this hand is probably one of the worst possible hands you could ask for with this deck. Probably one of the worst possible hands. Having 2 TCE in play right now is really bad. Okay. The Mew does indicate to me that he's probably using Night March. So hopefully Hoopa is in here. Nope. That's another big setback. Okay, gonna go find the Xerneas. I mean, at least I save 1 DCE. But this is not great. This is definitely not great. Okay. Yeah, Night March, definitely not a good matchup for us. Wait, my opponent? Did I go first? Okay. Yeah, I won. My opponent let me go first? I'm a little confused here. Yeah, because he only has 7 cards, so yeah, I went first. Okay. So we're gonna discard those, and then we are going to discard more energy. Let me just check. I have 2 different types of energy right now. 2 Ho-Oh are in the discard pile. And then, okay, so I'm gonna discard these 2 energy and a Sycamore? No. An N. Probably an Yveltal. Well, yeah, I'm gonna get rid of an. Fine, I'll get rid of the N so that I have access. Well, no, I'm gonna get rid of the Lysander if it's in there. If it's in here, rather. 10 seconds. Okay, so Lysander is priced. I'm gonna get rid of N. Okay, there we go. So now, let's use the Trainer's Mail. We get a Berserker, that's cool. And I am actually not going to Rebirth just yet, I guess. Yeah, I'm not gonna Rebirth just yet. I will attach the Floatstone to Ho-Oh, however, in case my opponent does end me, and I'm going to pass. Yeah, we went first. My opponent chose to let me go first. Now, it's going to be really annoying. Or really difficult to beat Night March because of the price trade-off. He powers up easier his Pokemon. Ho-Ohs could potentially withstand 1 attack if they had the Fighting Fury belt, because they do have, well, 200 HP, never mind. I thought Ho-Oh for some reason had 180 HP and not 160, so that's a big problem. And now I regret attaching the Floatstone. But anyways, okay. My opponent's just not doing anything. Just really, wait, what? Oh, is he? I guess he's timed out, or he's, I don't know what he's doing, but this is really stupid. I'm just gonna take the KO here and move on to the next game. I apologize for this. My opponent, either he literally had nothing, or he was simply not there. Okay. Okay, so Rainbow Road can get some really explosive starts, it can get some really bad starts. Looks like we're up against potentially Mega Alakazam deck. We did see Psychic type Pokemon and Metal. And let me close the window because there's a ton of sound outside. There's constructions going on, and there's a lot of annoying things, and there's traffic because it's peak hour, is it called? No. Peak hour? I'm not entirely sure. Okay. Anyways, we got a pretty good hand this time around. But, I guess we're up against Trevenant. I guess we are up against Trevenant. So, Yveltal-EX is going to be huge. I definitely don't want to play the Hoopa just yet. Okay. The Xerneas active could potentially be really annoying. Ho-Oh, 20 plus 20 more. So a Ho-Oh with 3 different energy deals 80 damage. Okay. So I'm gonna try, because I do know this is Xerneas. I mean, this is Trevenant, not Xerneas, Trevenant. I'm gonna focus on getting Yveltals powered up. So I need energy in my discard pile. That's what I really need. Gonna discard this Ho-Oh and either the N or the Lysander. No, obviously the N, no. So the Lysander or the energy switch. I feel like the energy switch will probably be less useful as the game goes on. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter what I get. I could go for the double. I could also go for Jolteon. I guess I'll grab the Yveltal. No. I'm being really dumb. I thought this was an Ultra Ball for some reason. I'm gonna Battle Compressor, and now I really regret getting rid of the energy switch. That was really stupid. Okay, gonna get rid of 3 energy. Okay, gonna get rid of 3 energy. Definitely Dark, definitely Metal, and definitely Fairy. And then, once again, I apologize for the sound outside. Gonna bench the Yveltal, and I am going to end my opponent. So we do get a Fighting Fury belt, so that's really good for our Yveltal. I feel like, okay, I'm gonna play the Trainer's Mail first. I do get another Battle Compressor, which is good news because that means we can kind of string Ho-Ohs, I guess. We could get double Ho-Ohs going, but this time around, well, I have no lightning energy, so that's fine. This is the thing though, I don't know, I mean, my opponent obviously runs energy removal, so Xerneas is the biggest liability here. So what I'm going to do is, I am going to Rebirth. I do flip heads, which is awesome, and I will get 3 different energy onto the first Ho-Oh, which is great. And then I'm gonna use the energy switch to move the Dark onto Yveltal, because that's the biggest threat here, and I'm gonna attach the TCG to the active Xerneas, and that's all I'm gonna be able to do for now. So we are threatening with every single Pokemon we have in play. Xerneas could get some KOs, Yveltal could definitely get some KOs. There's a Crushing Hammer, so my opponent might actually be able to remove the dark energy. He actually flips tails, but having only 2 dark energy could be a really big problem. Now he doesn't have another basic though. There's a Phantom, there's a Stadium, so he can actually stop the trainers, but he got the Enhanced Hammer. Okay. He got the Enhanced Hammer. Plays the Jirachi, so we know he will have a supporter for next turn, and he uses Ascension. So that's a really big issue for us right now. Should have retreated the Xerneas, I guess. I mean, if I play the Yveltal, that's another threat he can Lysander up. If I play the Lysander, all I do is force him to have an energy. There are already 2 in the discard pile, so I mean that would save me an attack, you know, that would save me from getting attacked. So I'm gonna promote the Jirachi, and I'm going to pass and wait a turn to see what goes on. Unfortunately, no item cards for us to play after that Lysander, but hey, what are we gonna do? There's the energy, that's the 3rd energy. And there's the Juniper, gets rid of another Juniper, a Lysander, and I believe a Floatstone. Did I see that right? Super Rod is already there. No, it was a Wally. Okay, so there's the break, there's another Phantom, but okay, now we get Shaymin. I feel like using Sycamore right now is my best play. Even getting rid of the Yveltal-EX. I'm gonna go for it. Okay. There's no way we can retreat the Xerneas at this point in time. There's just no humanly possible way. But he has used up, well, only 1 Crushing Hammer. Only 1 Crushing Hammer. Still gonna attach to the active Xerneas so that I threaten with both, and I'm going to pass the turn. If for some reason my opponent doesn't get rid of the energy, I can Sycamore to try to find another DCE. Our deck is relatively thin, and I could potentially get a KO with Xerneas. He does replace the Stadium, that's fine. He will be able to Silent Fear, no problem. There's an Acro, discards a Trevenant break, okay. With the Super in the discard pile, I definitely have no complaints there. He should be running low on energy, and there's a Trevenant and a Trevenant break already there. Gets back the Juniper for some reason. Okay, I thought for a second there he had already played a supporter card, but apparently he hadn't. I guess he's trying to find he's definitely trying to find a way to remove my energy from the active Pokemon. Attaches the Floatstone to the Trevenant. There's another Trainer's Mail. No Bursting Balloon is really good. Does find an Enhanced Hammer, his 2nd one, but it doesn't help him at this point in time. It will help him next turn if I do get a KO. But there's really not much we can do about that. We top deck a Burst Seeker, but I am going to bench these 2 because I get to draw an extra 2 cards, potentially getting closer to the TCE. Wow, we even find the TCE immediately. So we know it's getting removed, but I am completely fine with that. I feel like if my opponent ends me, it won't hurt that much, but I'd rather get rid of the 1 Sycamore. How many Sycamores have we played? This would be the 2nd one. So no, never mind. I'm just gonna Rainbow Force. I can't. Whoops. Whoopsie daisy. I should have Sycamore to find another Pokemon. Wow, that was really bad. I apologize for that. Wow, I can't do math today apparently. I cannot do math today. Is he going to go for a max potion or something here? I mean, basically, worst case scenario, he KOs Xerneas, but then Yveltal-EX with the Fighting Fury belt can potentially do a lot of damage there. Okay, so he does end me. He could also deck. That's also very valid. He could definitely deck himself out. I should have used that Sycamore. That was really dumb. That was really, really dumb. That was really, really dumb. Okay, so he plays another 30 on everything. How many Versus Seekers has my opponent used? Only 2 though. There's nothing we can do here, so we simply pass. The issue is Shaymin-EX. Shaymin-EX, well, if we find a DCE, then maybe we can save the Shaymin-EX on the turn that my opponent okay. That makes no sense. Why would you Lysander the Jolteon? Okay, I need heads flips. I need the heads on rebirth here so that I can get a KO. Perfect. Okay, no complaints there. My opponent made a huge misplay. I have no idea why you would promote Jolteon, because Jolteon has free retreat, but that allows me to get a KO with Ho-Oh-EX here, which is perfect. We start putting pressure. My opponent, as long as we find one energy, eventually, either we 2-hit KO the Trevenant, and he will only KO Xerneas right now, then he will KO Shaymin, but that's 3 prizes. That's not all the prizes he needs. And there's the Silent Fear. Okay. He is putting a ton of pressure, but my Pokemon should survive enough in that I eventually find an energy. Yep, he's saying awful mistake. Not gonna lie, it was. It really was. It really was an awful mistake. Okay, so Xerneas is gone, which is okay. We do find a DCE, but the thing is, he can probably get rid of it. And if we retreat the Ho-Oh, I mean, this is difficult because he has only played 1 Crushing Hammer, and he probably has Team Flare Grunt as well. But can I afford to not 1-hit KO? I think I can. If I 2-hit KO the active, and then I follow up with a 1-hit KO on his most likely last Trevenant, that should save me the game. Because of the fact, okay, and there's a Crushing Hammer, which he does flip heads with. So it's good that I didn't get greedy with the DCE. Definitely good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there should be 1 more Fairy Energy left. And if for some reason this Ho-Oh dies, or gets KO'd rather, okay, that Ho-Oh is definitely going to get KO'd. The issue here is okay, if I use okay, I have to Evolve. No item cards. All 4 Verse Seekers. All 4 Verse Seekers. I should have used that. That Sycamore that I didn't use might actually cost me the game. It generally might cost me the game here. Yeah, my opponent should have at least 1 more Crushing Hammer. Well, oh wow. Okay. Oh, never mind. Never mind. That's a game. He had the energy to Tree Slam. Ugh. So if I had attacked with Yveltal-EX the turn before, I would have been forced to top deck an energy. That Sycamore I didn't use in order to try and get the last Pokemon I needed to KO the turn and break. That's what changed the game. That is definitely what changed the game completely. So basically, guys, don't be bad at maths. Don't be bad at maths like I am, or like I showed there. I'm actually really good at maths, it's just I didn't count properly there. Okay, we are up against a pure metal deck. So a ton of Bronzongs. We do have Ho-Oh for one-hit KOs, which is awesome. Definitely awesome, but we are up against Klinklang, so we will definitely need Xerneas support as well. My opponent did mulligan twice, so hopefully we draw something good like an Ultra Ball or something like that. He is going first, so he could end us. We actually get another Ho-Oh. And wow, he starts Klefki, which does call for family. Okay, so my opponent's deck might not be the most competitive. He is using Sharon, he is using Klefki, but Klinklang from Plasma is definitely a threat. It's definitely a potential threat. In expanded, I guess. Well, no, never mind. No, it's not. It's not really. It really isn't. Like, it generally isn't. Okay, so my opponent attaches an energy and passes. We get a Xerneas, which is good. We get to battle Compressor away. The Ho-Oh is not in the discard pile, or I mean the last Ho-Oh is not in the deck, so top decking that Ho-Oh was awful. And I'm just gonna get rid of 3 different energy for now, and then I will attach the TCG to Xerneas and end my opponent. We know he has energy in his hand. Doesn't really make too much of a difference. Now we can Ultra Ball, getting rid of these 2 cards. We can Ultra Ball for Shaymin, Keldeo and Hoopa are both prized. Keldeo and Hoopa are both prized, but if I find another Compressor or... okay, there we go. Well, no energy switch, never mind. I will get rid of the Ho-Oh, and then I will get rid of the Lightning energy and the Darkness energy. Okay, so if we hit flips on Ho-Oh, we get a prize card here. If not, we do flip heads. Okay, I will take that, and then I will add these 3 energy so that I have them in play. I will retreat for free. We did go second, so Ho-Oh gets to Rainbow Burn for 160 damage due to weakness, and we get our first prize. No Bronzor, I mean no Klink in play, so we should be good here. And unless my opponent plays down 2 of them or uses N, I'm gonna conserve the Lysander and the Verseeker. Bronzong is not a threat. It's definitely not a threat. Aegislash is not a threat. I did, however, make a mistake by not choosing an energy different to the fairy one, because I should have grabbed the metal one, and then with the fairy I would be dealing 200 damage to the Aegislash and 1-hit KOing instead. But I don't think it's that big a deal. Between Ho-Oh and Xerneas, in case he ever does get Klink into play, or Klinklang rather, should be fine. Should definitely be fine here. Okay, so it's only a matter of time, I reckon, before we win this game. It's definitely only a matter of time. Taking a long time. Tool Scrapper removes my Floatstone, I'm okay with that. I do have the other Floatstone in my hand in case he tries to get fancy with Lysander plays. Which is another Klefki, attaches to the Clink Clank and presumably will deal 10 damage with Tackle, or will retreat into a Klefki and sacrifice that. And he simply concedes. Yep, Ho-Oh is too much power there. Ho-Oh is simply too much. Okay, so let's find our next game. And once again, I apologize against the Trevenant because we definitely could have won that game. Definitely could have won that game. Okay, I guess another mistake I made against Trevenant, which we might be up against right now, is getting rid of so many energy. There really was no need. You don't need more than one Ho-Oh, I guess. So that was another mistake on my part. But anyways, I lost the coin flip. My opponent will go first, and if he finds the Jirachi and Wally's into the Pokemon, we're gonna be in a lot of trouble. But we do start Yveltal, which is really awesome. And wow, it's actually Mega Mewtwo, so never mind. This is going to be weird. This is definitely going to be weird. Okay, so we do get to go first. And we do have a DCE, but not much else. Garbodor is annoying. My opponent does shuffle my 3 DCs back into my deck, so I'm not gonna complain about that. And now we don't have too great a start here. Gets rid of 2 energy immediately. Basically, if I play my cards right, I should be able to one-hit KO Mewtwo's, which is really good. My opponent is using Mega Mewtwo Garbodor, which for a standard format, I don't know how good it is. Yep, 2 Mewtwo's and a Shaymin. Okay, man, if we had this Mewtwo in standard, the Mega Mewtwo mirror matches would be absolutely crazy. Okay, so my opponent plays Parallel CD, limits my bench, which makes sense, but I'm glad he played the stadium first, simply because I only have two Skyfield, so I can potentially save it for the right time when I get to one-hit KO Mega Mewtwo. And my opponent simply decides to retreat immediately and pass. Okay, so I'm gonna bench both Xerneases. I'm gonna attach an energy to one of them, and I'm gonna use Shaymin. See what I get here. But I definitely need a stadium, quite urgently, actually. I don't actually get anything useful off of the Shaymin, so I'll just end here. I do find Battle Compressor. I do find a Trainer's Mail as well. So with the Compressor, I'm going to get rid of Ho-Oh and 2 energy. The Metal and a Fairy. And then I'm gonna use the Trainer's Mail, see what I get. Floatstone could be useful. Sycamore could be useful. I'll keep the Floatstone, but I'm not gonna attach it just yet. I'm just gonna pass. But yeah, we need Skyfield quite urgently. Quite urgently, actually. Oh shit, I forgot. Okay, we are in a lot of trouble here. If my opponent gets Garbodor on this turn, then we are not going to be able to use Rebirth. We are not going to be able to use Rebirth, and that's a problem. That's a really, really, really big problem. No Rebirth, no party, guys. Okay, so he grabs another Parallel CD. Hopefully he discards the stadium with the computer search. That would be pretty cool. I was about to say no Spirit Link is good news, but he actually does have the Spirit Link right there. Uses computer search. What does he discard and what does he go for? Does he secure the Garbodor? He actually gets rid of the Parallel City, which is good news, like I said. Or does he go for the straight up damage? Looks like he went for damage. Wow, and attaches another TCG. So, wow. Mega Turbo. That just seems overkill. Now, it is an issue. That end is an issue because we had the KO. We actually had the KO, and now we don't. Man, okay. I might risk it. I didn't get rid of the darkness energy. Okay, so no Ho-Oh for us. He's gonna Psychic Infinity. He has 5 energy. If I find an energy and a DTE, which I can get now, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. 160 damage. We would deal 160 damage. But can I get a one-hit KO here under the right circumstances? Oh, I have no Hoopa. I have no Hoopa ability. So, okay, I'm gonna play the computer search and go for a stadium. And go for a Skyfield. If only I had attached the Floatstone. Okay, there's 2 Skyfields and there's 2 Floatstones. I don't fancy my odds though. I generally do not like my odds. But I'm gonna try. I have to try. Especially because he has 1 energy or 1 stadium there. So I'm gonna play the stadium. That's the second stadium right there. I'm gonna attach the energy there. I'll bench the Hoopa so that I have Pokemon variety, and now I need a different type of Pokemon, and more importantly the Floatstone, which I do not get. Okay, might not be the end of the world, but it's not good news. Touch the Fighting Fury Belt there. I guess I'll bench the Keldeo, might as well. And if he KOs, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I would need a ton of different Pokemon types. So I have to pass here. To deal 210 damage, I need 7 different types of Pokemon. And I only have 4. I can find a 5th, but I don't think I can hit for enough damage. I guess I did see the Lysander, but I had to risk it. I generally think I had to risk it. And yeah, we cannot power up any Pokemon in 1 turn. We have no more Sacred Ash. We are not going to win here. We are not going to win here. Because nothing can take a hit from Mega Mewtwo. I mean, ugh. Well, I should have promoted Shaymin. No, never mind. I guess I'll attach the DC there. And I'll pass. Hoping he does. If he has a Verseeker, I'll just concede immediately. There's another Mewtwo. I'm just gonna concede. We had an awful start. We had an absolutely awful start. And Garbodor just proved like shutting down Ho-Oh was too much for us. It shuts down your energy acceleration. It shuts down your Shaymin. It shut down my Hoopa. On the turn we could have maybe done something. So really not much I could have done. And the stadium early on definitely hurt me. And using that Shaymin for 3 absolutely dot cards, that was not a good idea. That was not a good idea. And now we get to have an awful start. Okay, I'm actually gonna start Shaymin, surprisingly. And I'm gonna not bench the Hoopa or the Ho-Oh. And we're up against another Garbodor. Okay. Okay, my opponent doesn't do anything else, which is good. I top deck a very useful card, which I do not want to top deck. But I'm just gonna get rid of all the Ho-Ohs right now. I don't know what kind of deck my opponent is playing. I literally gained no information. But based on what he used so far, I was gonna say, because I didn't pay attention to the previous screen, I was gonna say Seismitoad Garbodor, but I guess not. Man, those games have been frustrating. Garbodor is really annoying. Garbodor is definitely really annoying. But anyways, it happens, guys. It happens. No big deal. So. Wiry with a potential Night March deck. Wiry with a potential Night March deck. I do want to go first. Let's see how we start off here. Okay, so very good start, I would say. Very good start, especially going first. And we are up against Night March. Okay, so okay, can I use Hoopa? I'm going to go for Keldeo, and that's it. And that is it, because now I regret going second, or going first rather. Okay, gonna find Jolteon, and yeah, just gonna find Jolteon. I mean, not Jolteon, Keldeo, I'm sorry, Keldeo. Okay, gonna attach an energy to the Jolteon. And then I am going to Battle Compressor away 3 Ho-Ohs. Bad idea number 1. And then 2 energy and a supporter card, which will be end because I don't want to get rid of the other thingy. So that one and that one. And then I will end my opponent. And basically, I'm gonna forego the Xerneas, and I will try to win the game by using Jolteon here, I guess. I can use the computer search and find the float stone for my Keldeo, and I will attach it. And basically on the first turn my opponent should have a really hard time getting enough Night Marchers and using Lysander to KO Jolteon, I hope. There's no guarantee, there's definitely no guarantee, but I hope he won't be able to manage that. And hopefully Jolteon can string a certain amount of KOs in order to win this match. Fighting Fury Belt doesn't really make a difference in terms of damage output or HP. It would make a difference on a Pumpkaboo. It will not make a difference on the Joltik. Well, there's already 2 Battle Compressors to start us off with. Gets rid of 2 Pumpkaboo immediately. So that's 6 Night Marchers. He needs 2 more. Oh my gosh, he has Shauna. Okay, so no Lysander this turn. And we could potentially win by simply benching my opponent out. No X-Maniac, he has no way to prevent the Keldeo. Touches a Muscle Band. Looks like he didn't find. Looks like he didn't find the DCE. Oh crap. Okay, so promoting Keldeo there, bad idea. Bad idea. Didn't expect him to have Shaymin already. Bad idea, Pablo. Bad idea. And I feel like it's still fine. But I opened up the possibility of him getting a KO on the Keldeo. Goes for the Mew. Gets rid of Puzzle of Time and an AC. But he's 1 Night Marcher short of the KO on Keldeo. 1. Okay, that's fine. Well, never mind, 2. I'm sorry guys. 2. Okay. So now it is Jolteon time. Can my opponent find a way around Jolteon every single turn? He already discarded 1 Puzzle of Time. He already discarded, or used up rather, 1 Escape Rope. So will Jolteon be enough here? Will Jolteon be enough? That's a big question that will decide our last game of the day. Will Jolteon be enough? Will my opponent find Lysander? Will my opponent do things? I don't know. Touches the TCE to Mew. Mew cannot touch Jolteon. He has 2 cards in hand. There's a Sycamore, so, and gets rid of a TCE. Wow, that's really unlucky for him. Best case scenario for him, he finds another Mew and an Escape Rope. Whew. Fair enough. Okay. He only has 7 Night Marchers. So ideally Hoopa survives the hit. If Hoopa doesn't survive... Oh, never mind. I'm Psychic Weak. Okay. It's fine. Because I can end my opponent. And basically... Wow, 3 Mews already. Okay. But ending my opponent, depending on what he gets off of this Trainer's Mail, will be really good. It's a switch, okay. But that will be his 3rd DCE. So that's pretty good. 3rd DCE in the discard pile. And I will definitely be able to end him. Okay. So... not my best play to give up the Hoopa, definitely. That's a 2nd Puzzle of Time. Will he play another consecutive one? If he doesn't, okay, he rearranges his top deck, so even more reason to use N this turn. Can't believe he had the 2nd Escape Rope though. And apparently my opponent speaks Spanish and he's really worried about his top decks. And yeah, I'm sure he gets a KO here, but we get to N. We get to get rid of the 3rd DCE off of his off play. We get to get rid of his 3rd DCE from play. He's taking a long time to decide what to do next. Okay, finally uses Night March. So through weakness he does get a KO. But Jolteon is still king here. Jolteon is still king. No Verse Seekers worries me a little bit. If I Ultra Ball here, these two cards away, I feel like I'm making my deck thinner and less end prone. I don't need any item cards, so I'm not gonna use the Trainer's Mail just yet. There we go. Energy switches, not really gonna help me here. I could attach the energy, I could potentially find Rebirth useful to power up a Xerneas maybe. So I guess I'll start powering up the Xerneas, and I'm just gonna flash right here. Get my second KO. But the most important thing is running my opponent out of resources. He's already used 2 Puzzle of Time. I guess he probably has Special Charge, but 3 DCs in the discard pile is really good news. And we're basically forcing a situation where my opponent needs to find consecutive... Wow, he has 4 Mew. My opponent needs to find consecutive Lysanders, and even then, he KOs Keldeo. And then he KOs Xerneas. And then we are perfectly okay. We are perfectly okay. He does play 1 Puzzle of Time. Is he rearranging or using both? My guess is rearranging. Nope. He actually... Okay. No more rings though. No more rings. And here, I'm gonna sacrifice Xerneas simply because if I sacrifice Keldeo, there is a chance Xerneas could get stuck active by Lysander and potentially be KO'd. My opponent might actually have Pokemon Ranger as well. My opponent might actually have Pokemon Ranger as well, which would obviously not be ideal, as that would secure the win for him. And yeah, he's asking me if I don't play in Standard. I do play in Standard, but since expanded regionals are coming up for Arizona, I want to feature an expanded week. There we go. Okay, so he gets another KO. We know he has a Jolteon in his hand, but we have no other information right there. No Ranger that we have seen so far. We do get an N. Can I use the Ultra Ball? Get rid of 1 energy switch and 1 energy. Not really trying to find anything in particular, just simply making my deck thinner in case I do need to find something eventually off of the end. We know he has a DC in his hand, and we know he has a Jolteon, but that's all we really know. And I'm gonna start attaching to the Keldeo in case he does find a way to remove the Float Stone and uses Lysander, because that could potentially break the Jolteon lock. But yeah, it's gonna come down to, will he be able to break it or not? Because even if he KOs the Keldeo, Jolteon being the last Pokemon in play is really good news. Really good news. He can't sacrifice the Jolteon, he can only sacrifice the Mews. He will no longer have an option to free retreat next turn. Does find an N, which will find him at Sycamore. There's 3 DCs in the discard pile, which is cool. And his deck is big enough in that I'm comfortable saying that he might whiff the DCE. Still no sign of Ranger. There's a Compressor. which could have net him the Ranger maybe. 3 compressors, just 1 versus Seeker though. Just 1 versus Seeker in the discard pile. Okay. So my guess is he's going to sacrifice the Jolteon here. That would be my guess. If I had Lysander, we could finish this game in 2 turns. But because we do not, what he said, I'll concede to let you show that you win in your video, but I don't know, he had already used a supporter, he had no way to attack this turn. I was going to take the price lead, so I felt like we were in a good position. If he had the Ranger, then we would have been in a lot of trouble obviously, but in that point I felt pretty comfortable. I generally felt pretty comfortable. Would have felt more comfortable if I had access to the Lysander in order to KO the Jolteon or potentially finish the game through Shaymin. But yeah, sorry about the game I lost against Trevenant once again. I feel like I could have done a lot better there. And that will be all from me today, guys. Definitely very rusty for Expanded. So take this video with a grain of salt. I do feel like Rainbow Road has a ton of potential. Maybe consider taking the Volcanion EX, as that is a plus immediate 60 damage. Maybe use a higher Skyfield count, I don't know. Adapt the list to however you want. And if you're playing in Arizona Regionals, good luck. I will not meet you there, but I will be seeing a ton of people hopefully at the Orlando Regionals next month. That will be all from me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't yet. Definitely helps out the channel a ton. Even if it doesn't mean anything to you, it really means a lot to the channel and the channel's growth. So I would really appreciate that. And I will see you guys on Wednesday for some more expanded action with Speed Darkrai. Thank you guys so much, and bye-bye.